What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dobrunsky here, and today I'm going to be directly comparing the 3-piece Tal set to the full Tal Rasha Sorceress set. And my goal for this video is by the end of it, you guys will consider running the full Tal set more often. I think it's a lot better than what people give it credit for, and I also like playing different niche and alternative builds, so the full Tal Rasha Sorceress set is definitely up my alley. If you guys ever want to hang out and see me stream these alternative builds or just talk about different Diablo 2 builds in general, I am now streaming full-time on Twitch. The link is, of course, in the description below, twitch/Dobrunsky125, so if you guys would give me a follow there, I'd really appreciate it. But guys, I hope you enjoy this direct Diablo 2 comparison video. Let's jump in. So in order to make this a somewhat consistent test, I'm going to be running the Ancient Tunnels for all three character specs. The first one is going to be, of course, the full Tal Rasha set. The second, the 3-piece Tal set with an Isted Oculus. And the third and final will be a 3-piece Tal set with an Isted Des Fathom. Now I'm going to be using the same charms, the same gloves, the same boots, the same rings, and the same mercenary setup. So the Merc is going to be using E-Bugged, Fortitude, Infinity with an Ethereal and Darrell's Visage, and then the boots are going to be War Travelers, gloves are going to be Mage Fist, the 2 rings are going to be both SOJs, and then the inventory is just going to be all 7MS small charms. So I'm just doing this to try and maintain consistency throughout each run, and then continuing the theme of consistency, the attributes is going to be identical for all 3 specs, as well as the skill tree. So your typical 1.1ers, 1 into Warmth, 1 into Static, Telekinesis, and Teleport, and then all of the remaining synergies are put into Blizzard, and then finally topping off our Ice Blast with putting our remaining points into Frozen Orb. So the only major gear changes between each character is going to be a different Sorceress Orb and a different helmet, and also to maintain consistency, the sockets in the body armor, helmet, and the orbs will be Istrunes for every single character. So an Isted Des Fathom, Isted Oculus, Isted Tal Rasha's Orb, an Isted Tal Rasha's body armor, and an Isted Tal Rasha's mask, to really just maintain, again, consistency through all these 3 different character comparisons. So the first character that we're going to take a look at is the full Tal Rasha Sorceress set. So like I mentioned, Istrunes in all of the body armor and helmet pieces, all 7MS small charms with War Travelers, 2 SOJs, and Mage Fist. Now the important stats that I want to cover, we have capped fire, capped cold, capped lightning, and 68 poison res, with a total of 533% magic fime, and our Blizzard does 6.3 to 6.6k, so this is all prior to battle orders and battle command. We have 1373 life and 935 mana, so a lot of life and mana with this character pre-battle orders and battle commands, so definitely a nice all-around setup. I think we're going to do 2 Ancient Tunnel runs really quickly. You'll see on Players 1 difficulty, there's not really a big difference between like the Fathom or running the Oculus or the full Tal set. You really do a lot of damage regardless, like everything just dies anyways in Players 1. But I really just wanted to stress those stats of over 500 MF and 6.3k Blizzard with maintaining 105 FCR. And there is, of course, room to add additional MF with like Nagel rings instead of the SOJ. But I just want to, again, maintain consistencies, so we'll keep the same rings for all 3 different character specs. 2 Ancient Tunnel runs, like I mentioned. So we have 2,200 health and 1,319 mana when we're buffed with battle orders. So here's my Ancient Tunnels map. I don't have all the boss packs memorized entirely, but you can kind of see for Players 1, everything, honestly, basically instantly dies. We have 533 MF, and you'll be surprised at the comparison between the 3-piece Tals and the full Tal Rasha set. Ooh, look at that. First run in, Leviathan. We don't need that. Let's check the DR. 18 DR, 45 strength Leviathan on the very first run. Not bad. One of the cool things about the full Tal set is when you have all the pieces, you get plus 15 to cold damage. So it's almost like a mini Des Fathom. You get the plus 15 cold damage, minus 15 enemy light res, and minus 15 enemy fire res. Really cool overlooked feature, in my opinion. That's a locked chest. Any champions or boss packs around? Nope. That's one run down. Do another one, and the shortcut, talk to Warov. Act 1, Lost City. And repeat it again really quickly. Let's see if we can get a crazy unique every run with these different comparison setups. Then we were talking 533 magic fine. You've seen the health and mana glow values. There's a lot there. Guess we can kill these guys. They're not champions or boss packs, but good MF, good health, good damage. Just an awesome all-around build. Leave the antlers. But the biggest thing is that all of these builds are going to essentially nearly one-shot everything on players 1. We could even up the difficulty if we wanted to, I guess, and do players 3. Really just to demonstrate different character sets in action. Okay, so there's 2 runs down, so you get an idea for the full Tal set. Next up is the 3-piece Tal set. This time I am running the Isted Oculus and an Isted Shaco, so it definitely looks a little bit different. We don't have the full aura setup, but you're going to notice a difference in MF and our character stats. So I have 32 fire res, 63 cold, 75 lightning, and 23 poison. Now if you're running the Ancient Tunnels, fire resistance isn't that big a deal. Actually, having this low of poison res can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. But we do have a big jump up in our percent MF, so 633. And we actually have 55 FHR, so I'm 1 down from the breakpoint of the full Tal set, which you could change this around with a small charm, just swapping out for 1 5 FHR small charm. That will give you the 60 breakpoint. But you can see that our damage dropped a bit as well. So we were 6.3k for the minimum damage on the previous setup, and now we are 5.7 to 6k damage with this setup. So we're trading resistances and a little bit of damage for an extra 100 MF exactly. But with one caveat, this Isted Oculus gives the random chance to cast teleport when you're struck, which some people don't mind running this setup, and then others hate it. I'm kind of down the middle. I don't like it, but I don't hate it either. So the exact same thing, I'm going to do 2 Ancient Tunnel runs. Now you're really not going to notice a big difference in clear speed. You will notice a bit of a drop in the health, so 2011 health versus 1277 mana, with a little bit less damage, poor res, but an extra additional 100 MF with the random teleport, which we'll see if that happens if I get teleported a couple times this run. The same idea, players 1 difficulty. One-shotting stuff. Amp damage can be a little hectic with the random teleport, especially on higher players difficulty settings. But with 2k health and players 1, we should get by okay. This little realm rune from the chest. I think I still have the Leviathan in my cube. I need to drop that if we get anything crazy this run. Okay, 1 quick run in the books. I might miss the odd champion or boss packs. I don't have everything memorized, but that's not really the point. More so to just show the different specs. Run number 2, 3-piece Tals with the Isted Aussie. Now I have not randomly been teleported yet. I think I might have been randomly teleported there, or maybe it was just me misclicking. Probably me misclicking. Locked chest this time around. Champions or boss packs. There's one. Run down here. Nope. Okay, so quick run to give you an idea, and honestly, not really a big clear speed difference between that and the full Tal set, but we were swapping out 100 MF for better resistances and a little bit more life. And then finally, we're going to take a look at the Isted Death's Fathom setup. So you're going to notice a difference in resistances because this gives lightning and fire compared to the all res on the Isted Oculus. And then also a difference in MF compared to the other two setups. So the blizzard damage jumps up substantially. So we were at just under 6k with the 3-piece Tal set with the Isted Aussie, and then 6.3k with the full Tal set, giving us plus 15% cool damage. And then we all the way up to 7.4 to 7.7 with Death's Fathom. Now you'll notice difference in resistances, like I said, 51 to fire, 43 to cold, 75 to lightning, and 3 to poison. Again, you don't take too much fire damage at all really in Ancient Tunnels, so that's not a big deal, but the low poison res can be annoying depending on how you play, like if you do get poisoned in the Ancient Tunnels, because that is common. And I have 583% MF with the same FHR breakpoint. So we're in between the total percent MF for the full Tal set compared to the 3-piece with the Isted Aussie, but a big jump up in our percent damage. I'm going to do 2 more Ancient Tunnel runs. It's going to be almost a little bit redundant, slightly faster clear speed, but you will notice a difference in the total health. So we're even less than the previous setup. Mana stays about the same with the big jump up to 7.3k cool damage. And we'll see if I do get poisoned. If these plague bearers do poison me, that poison res is definitely going to do, or that lack of poison res, excuse me, is definitely going to increase the total damage that we take from the embalmed. As long as you keep your distance, it's probably should be okay. You just wouldn't want to kill the embalmed and then teleport right into a poison cloud. I mean, it's kind of hard to even notice a clear speed difference on players 1 difficulty, but I think if you went up to players 3 or 7, that extra 1k blizzard damage would definitely help out. But this is kind of the best of both worlds. If you're not a big fan of the random teleport on Aussie, this way you still get lots of damage, or sorry, you still get lots of MF, but you do have maximum damage set up with a little bit lower res. But if you're farming players 1, it's not that big a deal. We'll do 1 more. Really quick kill. Ruby Jewel of Fervor for a video. No, 3 to Dext. Get the small charm. Oops. Lightning damage and a mana. Okay. I mean, static and stuff, so a lot of this is really redundant, showing the runs over and over again, but you can see, like, definitely slightly better clear speed. With the benefit of having no random Aussie teleport. Well guys, there you have it. That wraps up today's video. Clearly, if you're trying to maximize every percent of MF on your character, the 3-piece Tal set is the way to go. But I think that the full Tal set definitely holds its own, and I demonstrated that in today's video. You have better resistances, the ability to reach a higher FHR breakpoint by swapping out a couple small charms, and you have comparative damage actually in between the Aussie and Death's Fathom setup, so it's definitely worth using for magic finding if you want to play around with something different. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you could throw a like on it, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content and stream on Twitch on a consistent basis, so a sub on YouTube and a follow on Twitch would be amazing. Other than that, guys, hope you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll see you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.